What is going on, guys? Your boy here back with another video. I gotta be honest, man, we are screwed, man. Like, there's been so much ridiculousness going on in the world, and we're just gonna react to some more nonsense. So let's get into it, man.
Video. I want to give you a status update on the government shutdown. Here's the current situation. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm going to give it to you straight. The Senate has tried to pass the government funding bill 7 times, and it keeps on failing. Now, you would think that after the third failed attempt, they would kind of get the hint that it's going to keep on failing, especially if they don't change it. I mean, the Republicans and Democrats, they're not negotiating, and they keep on voting on the same thing. But no, I mean, they voted on it 7 times, and they keep on getting the same results. Like, what a shocker, right? And they're going to vote on it again today on October 14th, and maybe, I guess what they're thinking is maybe 8th time is going to be the charm. Bottom line is that the Republicans and Democrats are not making any constructive progress. Right now, it's a stalemate. If you're going to ask for my opinion, I think that they should just sit together in a room and not leave until they can figure this out. But instead, the Senate adjourned last week. They all went home. The House of Representatives, they've already been home for the past 3 weeks doing.
I feel like these people are just working in tandem. They've decided that they need this joke of a president. And let's be honest, literally pretty much every president's a joke. I'm sorry I said it. I don't know if that shocked you. They're all a bunch of liars. But I think they've all collectively decided that this guy will be the person to decimate the economy. I think it goes deeper than that, but I think he is the only person that could destroy the economy and people will be accepting of it. I don't really want to get into all that, but he was the perfect person to destroy the economy. For what reason, I don't know. As far as crypto, dude, I don't know anymore, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you like all these other influencers. Well, they've disappeared. We all have, because there's nothing to talk about. But there's a lot of influencers who tell you keep buying a dip, man. Keep buying a dip. Although I want to believe it, man, I don't know anymore. I don't. I didn't know before, but they don't want anybody making any money.
Nothing. Right now, the Senate just came back to DC, but we're going to see if they keep on playing this game of cold shoulder and not talking to one another, not negotiating. But I guess what do they care? These politicians are still getting paid. Okay, so the situation is the Senate last voted on the funding bill on Thursday, October 9th. And there are 100 seats in the Senate. They need 60 votes.
Now I have to get somewhat political. You know what's interesting? We got all this money for ICE, these wars, all these tax breaks, all this really ridiculous stuff, right? Like, think about this. We got into $37 trillion worth of debt because they spent $37 trillion. Why does it feel like none of us have benefited from any of that? It seems like the only person are these people. It's like, if you print $37 trillion, why has none of that trickled back into our pockets? I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I feel like conspiracy theory time, but I really do believe in aliens, and I really do believe maybe they came from the future, so they know what's gonna happen. But like, this is so precision that like, I just don't believe that. Like, I don't know, man. Who knows, man?
To pass this bill. The Republicans control 53 of these seats in the Senate. So the Republicans cannot do it by themselves. The Democrats cannot do it by themselves. So the Republicans and Democrats have to work together. And the last time that they voted on this last week, the bill got 54 votes in favor. So that's very far from the 60 that they need. Okay, so
You know what I think? I think this is what's gonna happen next, man. The Democrats are gonna be like, well, we tried everything we could. We had to give in to their demands, and then they're just gonna blame them. Oh, see, now, well, in that case, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, we don't have health care because them, you know, or it's gonna triple or whatever they say, you know. God, man. And we're so divided right now. But I have more on this spiel, but it is interesting what the average American cares about, right? Because on one hand, you could have certain things go on for years and it doesn't bother certain people. But then one isolated event happens and then it's like everybody freaks out. I don't know, man. I'm really starting to think like the average American, well, really, they hoard us into like sheeps, but like this is just absurd.
So what are the Republicans and Democrats fighting about? The Republicans want a temporary extension of the government funding for 7 weeks, and they're not asking for any changes. The Democrats want a permanent extension of Obamacare subsidies and the reversal of Medicaid cuts that were in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Okay, so who's to blame? I mean, it depends on your perspective. You can make the argument that the Republicans are asking for no changes, so it's the Democrats' fault. Or you can make the argument that the Democrats are fighting for the people, trying to lower healthcare costs, and the Republicans are heartless and evil. Now, I'm sure that you have your opinion, which you're entitled to. Personally, I'm just sick of the circus act, and I find it unbearable. Now, here's some things to know. The jobs report was supposed to be released on October 3rd, but because of the shutdown, that report never got published. And the CPI inflation report was supposed to be released on October 15th. That's not happening. Okay, but here's what you need to know.
I think this is gonna force Jerome Powell to make a cut of 50 basis points to 75 to possibly even 100 basis points. Usually I'd be happy about this, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed. I just don't enjoy crypto anymore. Investing in general has become hostile. Doing anything with money has become hostile. I just don't like money anymore. And it's so funny because once I get this all figured out, I will never, ever try to go back to slavery, man. This is sick, man. And it's so sick because like everybody just puts a happy face on and just tough through it, man. You gotta keep your head down and hustle hard, man. And it's all a scam, man. And it's so funny, right? Because we work, right, to get money to live our lives when we should just live our lives. But it's never that easy, right? I also don't get, man, with all this advancement, why are we still having to work as much? They should be paying us just to chill back. It's bullshit, man. I really hate this country, like with a deep passion. And people are gonna be like, oh, well, you can leave, man. Dude, come on, dude. That's what I'm saying. People always, I don't know, man. It's fine, but you know what? I told my friend the other day, I'm in a position where let it burn, baby. I'm not tapped in. This is all like their crap. But it's just annoying because I'm trying to move forward with my life and they keep hindering me. So, I guess screw it, man. Let everything burn.
The U.S. government has a statutory obligation deadline to produce the CPI inflation reports in order to calculate the cost of living adjustment for Social Security recipients. And of course, the politicians are afraid of 73 million angry Social Security recipients that vote. So the government called in an emergency situation to produce the CPI inflation report so that they can calculate next year's COLA, the cost of living adjustment. So they're going to release the CPI inflation report on Friday, October 24th. The Senior Citizens League is projecting that the cost of living adjustment for Social Security recipients next year is going to be bumped up by 2%.
I hate this system, man. It's disgusting, man. Honestly, if you seriously enjoy this system, you're a sick bastard. And I thought I was a lunatic. Like, you guys are true lunatics. We spend every waking hour at work, and we can't even really get ahead. I don't care what you're making, man. You're not getting as ahead as you should be. It's such a scam, man. And everybody goes around here with this happy, oh, I don't care if you're a manager. It's a scam, man. I just hate this system. I hate everything about it. I hate how the food, it's just garbage. I hate how they get you addicted to everything that you're not supposed to be. I'm not gonna lie, we do need that R word here. The Revo Lulu. Because this is disgusting.
2.7%. And the CPI inflation report getting published on the 24th is going to be welcome news to the Federal Reserve. The reason why I'm saying that is because, as you probably know, the Federal Reserve has been saying this whole time that they're being data dependent, and they've been relying on the inflation reports for making their decisions on interest rates. So the next Federal Reserve meeting is going to be on October 29th. So that's going to give them a few days to digest this inflation data, the CPI inflation reports. Moving on. While this government shutdown continues, President Trump said that—
You know what's so stupid about this system? We're data dependent on this circumstances. I just wanna I wanna hug Jerome Powell. I wanna reach out and put my hands of love on him. Pause. But dude, everything they use is like always like 3 months behind. So it's not really data driven. It's just all lies. They lie, they lie, they lie. All these people just lie. So while Trump fires everybody, it won't even be included in this stupid report that I just want to—
he's going to take this opportunity to lay off a lot of federal workers. Just to be clear, we're not talking about federal employees being furloughed, where these federal employees return back to work and receive back pay when the government reopens. No, we're not talking about that. President Trump is talking about permanent job cuts, known as reductions in force, also known as RIFs. On October 10th, Russell Vouts, who's the director of Office of Management and Budget, posted this: the RIFs have begun. Now, the Office of Management and Budget confirmed his posting and said that the cuts are substantial. We don't have the official numbers yet. The preliminary estimates are suggesting a few thousand job cuts already. But when I find out, I'm going to be sure to update you. Well, I'm going to find out when they post the jobs report and also the Challenger report, whenever that comes out. So the unions are promising to fight off the layoffs with lawsuits, and I'm sure they will. Now, I want to tell you about the current situation regarding the negotiations.
Don't get me started on that scumbag to the left, man. The biggest weasel, man. And it's so, I don't know, man. I hate to even— I'm not even on any side, but God, I just don't like any of these people. They're just disgusting. On whatever side you want to pick, man, I don't like any of them.
I guess you could say the lack of negotiations between the Republicans and the Democrats. As I told you, it's a stalemate. They're playing a game of chicken, and neither party is budging. So here's what happened. President Trump delegated the negotiations to the leader of the Republicans in the House and the Senate. So those two top Republicans are Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who you can see a picture of him on the left, and Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who's on the right. Now, the Republican, mostly in the Senate, so the Republican senators are quietly complaining that they want President Trump to get more involved in the negotiations. Because whatever Trump says and negotiates with the Democrats, the Republicans are going to get behind it. They're going to support it, except maybe, one or two Republican senators. So a good question is, why is President Trump not getting involved in the negotiations? It's because President Trump has been busy working on the peace agreements in the Middle East.
No, he's been busy playing golf, man. I'm so, dude, I don't like any of these guys, man. Well, if you didn't know, Trump doesn't think he's getting into heaven, but I mean, I would agree, you know. Just die. I'm sorry. Sorry.
He just stopped by Israel. He just stopped by Egypt. Now he got back to DC. Okay, now why was all of this, the peace agreement so important to President Trump? It's because President Trump was trying to win the Nobel Peace Prize. But the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Venezuela's opposition leader. And that got President Trump and the White House very upset. President Trump said, and I quote, "Everyone says I should get it." The White House communications director said, and I quote, "The Nobel Committee proved that they..."
You know what's really funny too? You see that name, Kayla Epstein? Where is that? Oh my God. I forgot our PDF file. Prezzo is a PDF file.
Place politics over peace. But Machado, the Nobel Peace Prize recipient, dedicated the prize to President Trump, probably to just stay on his good side. She said, "I dedicate this prize to the suffering people of Venezuela and to President Trump for his decisive support of our cause." Okay, now that President Trump's ambitions for a Nobel Peace Prize have concluded, what does this mean? It means that he can now refocus on the United States of America. He can focus on reopening the federal government. And the Republicans are looking for Trump's leadership because things have been going nowhere with Thune and Johnson at the helm. And I want to address this. Last week, there was concern that our troops would not get their paychecks on October 15th. But President Trump found the money to get our troops paid. President Trump wrote, "I am using my authority as Commander-in-Chief to direct our Secretary of War to use all available funds..."
I don't think he's gonna do it. I'm gonna be real with you. I do not think he's gonna pay them. I don't know why. He'll make up some lie where he can't pay him, but that's just what I think.
To get our troops paid on October 15th. We have identified funds to do this. So this is good news for our troops. However, what about the other 2+ million civilian federal employees that are going to go without a paycheck? Let's take a look at this. Who is getting more blame for the government shutdown? Is it the Republicans or the Democrats? Both parties and President Trump are getting blamed, at least according to this Reuters poll. I mean, it's pretty neck and neck. Now, here's my take on the situation. The government shutdown is materially affecting millions of Americans. And just take a look at this poll and look at other polls if you want. Neither party is doing themselves any favors. They're both being blamed. Once the politicians realize this, which is going to be probably pretty soon, in the interest of self-preservation, of not losing future votes, they're going to come to some kind of agreement, I would say relatively soon, or one side's just going to give in. So the reason why I'm saying this is because you can actually make wagers on these types of things, and I personally did. I did a futures contract betting that the government shutdown will not last longer than 40 days. So that I would say the odds, when I did this, the odds were actually kind of amazing. It was close to 1-to-1, and I would take that bet any day. That's my take on the situation.
So yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. Crypto is decimated. There's not really much. I mean, what am I supposed to say? You know? There's just been like 30 things going on, and let's look at cryptocurrency prices, man. Whereas man, the crash happened, man. It's just BS, man. I hate everything that they get their hands into. Now I don't even care if Bitcoin goes to like 300K. I don't care. There's no enjoyment. It's just boring. Even the projects I was happy about, I'm just bored. Just nothing going on. So, I don't know if I'll make another video. I'm just bored, man. There's nothing to be happy about, nothing to get excited about. Just really nothing going on. I was trying to see. I'll see you guys next video, man.